Joe Dunbar has been a friend and a mentor to me for the 12 years that I've been on the library board, and I appreciate him and his wise counsel and advice that he's been able to provide not only to me, but to the library board as a whole.
Joe came on the board right when I was, the last few years that I was working here. When I heard that Joe was appointed by the school board, I was very excited because I knew that Joe had a good reputation in town. Everybody knew Joe and respected him. I also was excited because I knew Joe cared very much about education. And so then I thought he would also be a very good board member and want to promote the desires of the library.
Kokomo's a size town where you're going to run into the same people over and over, you know. And there's some people you probably see at car shows, remember car shows. Some people you see in Mexican restaurants, see them there pretty often. You know, some people you see at sporting events, you just kind of see them, you know they're in their place. If you want to see Joe, you need to go to a board meeting. Joe is on lots of boards.
He was a very good person at knowing how to manage. Even though he wasn't the board president, he was very good at working with the board. And so he was able to get that budget passed with very little effort, I thought. So I was very grateful for that.
Well, I have just always felt like Joe was well known through the whole community and respected in whatever activity he was involved with. And I always felt like that he was a real asset to the library board and really cared about libraries and education. And you know, just in addition to that, he's just a really nice guy, just friendly, nice guy. And I always felt like we had a good relationship, and I just always liked Joe. He was great to work with.
He was a very welcoming presence and mentoring presence, and when I first got on the board, he stayed after and kind of told me what to expect and what to look forward to and offered his help. So that was very, very kind.
Joe was just always encouraging and really seemed interested personally in me. I've been on boards myself, and you can be a great board member without being really very personally connected to the executive or the director or whatever of the organization. And it wasn't like that. I mean, Joe really was, it seemed as if it was his actual personal mission to make sure that I was comfortable and successful and happy. And I appreciate that so much. And it's continued through my time here. Before I had a kidney transplant, he came to see me in my office and said, you know, if you ever need a ride to Indianapolis, you know, just call me, even if it's short notice. I'd be so glad to do that. You know, just don't hesitate. If there's anything I can do, you know, anything else either, just let me know. I'd be glad to help out. And that's just such a great example of someone who is not just interested in the running of the organization, but interested in supporting me as a person.
When I retired, he came to my retirement party that they had at the library, and he made a point of talking to me and saying that, okay, I know you're retiring, but you're not really done yet. There's so much that you could be doing, and you need to make sure that you stay out there and you stay involved.
One of the things about Joe is he really knows his Robert's Rules of Order. He runs an extremely efficient board meeting, which is awesome. We all benefit from that because he understands and appreciates the value of everyone's time. He might hold the record for the shortest board meeting. He's that efficient.
In terms of running the board, I guess some of my favorite memories are of him wanting to have really efficient board meetings and to make sure that things just ran smoothly, making sure he could get those board meetings just done in the fastest possible way that met all of the needs of the organization. And it just makes me smile of him trying to get everybody organized and whipped into shape, making sure we start that meeting on time and we don't waste any time. And so I just have greatly enjoyed working with Joe.
You don't have to pay too much attention around Kokomo to see Joe making a difference in different things he does and has done over the years. So been a great force for the community.
I really am so appreciative to have been in Kokomo at a time when I could get to know Joe and overlap with him and see the influence that he has had in our community over a number of years.
Joe is a dedicated library board member and is an invaluable community volunteer. We will miss his service on the board.